Okay, so welcome everyone. It's very nice to see all of you again after quite a long break. I hope you've all been doing well and used the time wisely and skillfully to practice a little bit deeper as the whole world kind of went into retreat, which is very conducive to meditation practice. So most of the people who are fond of spiritual practice, they really enjoyed this time. Heard it from a lot of friends that they were really pleased about not having much to do, being able to just forcefully stay at home and dedicate many more hours every day to their practice, which is nice. Also shows the ability to kind of go with the flow a little bit. Sometimes life goes like this, and you just go with it. You're able to not resist the truth of the way things are. Sometimes the world breathes in and it breathes out again. Sometimes it breathes in over here and breathes out over there at the same time. And so to be able to stay calm in any kind of given situation is really what this practice is about. Right now, you might feel that you're safe, that you're at ease, that everything is fine and everything is okay. That is a trap. The idea of actually feeling safe is a big trap. It creates a kind of state of mind which is not at all conducive to practicing. It's much more conducive to letting go of what's most important. It makes you careless. As soon as you think you're safe, you become careless. This is a very common topic. If people go to a safari or go into the jungle or something like this, this is the number one problem. As soon as you feel safe, you become careless, and that's when you start making mistakes. So why are we not safe? Right now, we might feel that we are safe, but what I'm talking about is the potential for danger that might arise at any given turn that you make. There's always something that could happen. Every time, every moment. And there will be many such moments in our life. Moments when things go wrong, either with your health, with your spouses, or in your household, with your work. You will make mistakes, things will go wrong, things will go downhill, etc. That is bound to happen, that will happen for sure. There's nothing we can do about it. Question is, even though these kind of things may happen to us, are we at ease? Are you okay? Are you really safe? Meaning, do you not just feel safe, but are you actually safe so that no matter what happens to you, you're okay? And that's exactly what meditation practice is for. It gives you something within you that you can always count on, always rely on. This is a space in which you're always safe. Just very recently, there's news of a Thai monastery where one of the great masters, the forest lineage, Luang Por Sutjai, actually passed away, and he was locked somehow in his kuti, in his house, and that little hut caught on fire and he burned alive in there. They couldn't get him out. I don't know any details of the story, but that's somehow how the story went. So he kind of burned in his house. Now if you think of touching a flame of a candle, or holding an incense stick on the wrong side by accident, it's unbearable. It's so painful if you get a little bit of a burn, right? Now imagine being burned alive. So how did this monk react? Well, he sat down in meditation and meditated. So that's what I mean by being safe. That's what I mean by having a refuge that is beyond the body and the mind. You're at ease there. You're okay there. No matter what happens to the body or the mind, you're fine. It's the supreme way to go, to leave this life. The question is, that any practitioner should ask themselves is, have I achieved that? Am I safe? No matter what happens to me, am I okay? Am I beyond suffering? And if the answer to that is no, I haven't, then there's work to be done. That's why we need to put our practice to the test. And usually life is doing that for us, right? On many occasions, life will put you to the test. It will either confront you with an unpleasant person, or an unpleasant situation, or a virus, or whatever. Things that go against your desires. So, and then that shows very clearly where you are at in your practice. Are you still at ease? Because it's quite easy to fool ourselves into believing that we're okay and that we're at ease. That's very easy. Particularly if you're having a nice place to live in and an aircon and stuff like that, and everything is okay, and you have enough money on your bank account and all that. You kind of get into this kind of hazy state of believing everything's fine. But everything's only fine and really fine once you are at once you have accomplished a state within you that is beyond all trouble, that you can always go to, and you're safe there. So no matter what happens, you're at ease. That's the point of why we sit here and cultivate and train the mind. So we become, as the Buddha nicely said, an island to ourselves. Make yourselves an island. I think that was one of the last things the Buddha said. Make of yourself an island. As opposed to being somehow in the middle of the ocean, like trying to find your way out, trying not to drown, just paddling round and round in circles, which is a nice image for most of us. We're kind of just paddling around. We don't really know what we want, what our true priorities in life are. And what is the true priority in life? For many people, it actually is, in a funny way, safety. They want to be safe. They don't want to have to worry about dangers. And then we try to establish that safety somehow, right? We do all kinds of things, and we build ourselves all kinds of things just so we can be safe. And those things, they do work to a very limited extent, but they are devoid of any guarantees. They can't give you a guarantee. Like, will your insurance pay? You don't know, right? And this is upsetting. It's why so many people are afraid, even though they have an insurance. You go to Germany, for example, lots of people are wired and stressed. But they are like some of the people who are highly insured. Everything is insured. Pardon?
Over-insured.
Yeah, over-insured. Everything is insured. There's an insurance for everything in Germany. And many of those insurances are even mandatory. You have to have them. Super safe. But why are people still so worried and stressed? Because they are not at ease with uncertainty. And that's exactly what life is. It's uncertain. Nothing is certain. So holding ourselves or tying ourselves to uncertain things makes our life uncertain and makes our experience uncertain. Not safe, in other words. So in order to feel safe, in order to actually be safe, you have to find something that is certain, reliable, always, in any situation. And that's what spiritual practice originally is for, I think. And one of the jobs of religion should be to preserve such practice and to pass it on through the generations. And unfortunately, that's easier said than done. Passing on such a thing is, you are required in order to pass something on to possess it. You have to be safe in order to point to the safe space within each one of us. So this is the direction that we take when we meditate. So the very, very first basic thing before you can go into meditation practice is learning to sit still. This is the first point. That's where you already cultivate a lot of skills that you need later in the practice. And if you don't have those skills, you can maybe think about very high level and advanced things in meditation practice, but you're not actually experiencing them. It's empty talk. So in order to experience a progression on this path, it's important to start with the base. And the base is stillness in the body. It's one of the first things how you can tell if somebody does have some decent meditative skills or not. Yes, you cannot read someone's mind. That is true, right? But you can read their body. You can see how do they carry their body. And if there is stillness in the body, you have a clear sign that this person has a relatively still mind. If the body is incredibly nervous, there's a lot of movement, a lot of fidgeting, then you can tell clearly that person is not at ease in their mind at all. So one of the ways to create ease in the mind is through the body, by forcing your body to stay still in a posture which is good for you. Yeah? You don't want to sit in a posture that's bad for you and sit still in that posture. You want to learn how to sit properly. But for most people, it's an achievement to be able to sit still for 5 minutes. And by still, I do mean completely still. No movements at all. Completely like a statue kind of still. If you can do that for 15 minutes, great. You've achieved a little milestone there. Now, is that it? Are you done? Of course not. Go for 30 minutes. You want to keep yourself challenged. This is about developing a skill, right? You don't know if you're developing a skill if that skill is not challenged. Like, let's say you're in a room with people who are all agreeing with you. You never know whether your viewpoint is useful or not. That's how you can entice an entire population of a country to commit genocide. And feel right in what they do. It's very possible. It happened numerous times in communist regimes, in fascist regimes. Opinions and thoughts are easily moved. And we easily go with them. Easily influenced. And so by learning to sit still, you learn not to be influenced by one of the major influencers in our life, which is feeling. I would go that far to say we do everything because of feeling. We're looking for certain feelings. What's a full bank account make you feel like? What is it making you feel like to have an empty account? What does it make you feel like if someone says, I love you? What does it make you feel like being safe? What does it make you feel like being the best, being right, etc.? It's all about feeling. We go to war for feelings. It's such a powerful driving factor. Isn't it? It's one of the things in advertising, I think they say. But you're not selling a product, you're selling a feeling. Look at car advertising. They don't sell you a box made of metal. They sell you a life, a feeling, an experience. You go into that car, it's like an experience. It's not just sitting in a box, rolling around with that box. You feel something. You get that aggressive car. You can go off-road with it, into the dirt, and then in slow motion as you go through the dirt. And all that kind of stuff, right? Well, watch advertising. You can learn so much from well done advertising. You can learn how the mind is manipulated, and it's always about some sort of feeling. You drink the fresh beverage, and there's sunshine, and there's happy music, and it's all supposed to make you feel something. But feelings are unreliable. Feelings are not something that you would like to take as something to rely on. I rely on my feeling. I do this because I feel like that. That's why we would eat the bag of chips, because we feel like it. But is it actually good for you? We do so many things that are not good for ourselves because we feel like it. So feeling is not really reliable. We need to have a different kind of approach to it, right? And we learn that with sitting still. We're not moving the body because we feel like it. We move the body because it's the end of the session. What does that teach you for daily life? It teaches you to maybe not respond in a conversation because you're feeling like it, but to wait until the other one has finished. And so it makes you less impulsive. That's good in relationships very often. I mean, many people fight in a relationship because it's way too impulsive. I hear something that I disagree with, I have to cut it down. And so both of the parties never have the feeling of being heard. That's why arguments often keep going and going and going, because nobody listens, really. Because we're ruled and dominated by feeling. If you could somehow be a little bit more in charge of how you feel and how you react to your feelings, that would make a big difference in your life. You would, for example, be able to pinpoint the starting point of a panic attack. Because you're able to sense it, you can then do what's right instead of buying into the feeling and spiraling all the way down. You might see the onset of negative thoughts that draw your attention into a certain way that's really going to make you sick physically. Makes you angry, upset, tense. As soon as you notice that contraction in your being, that's feeling, you can remain non-reactive. You're not buying into it. You have an advantage there. You have a choice then. You're not just forced to go downhill with your feelings, but you're able to step back and see clearly what's going on and have some distance to it. That we can only learn if we actively work with that, and particularly actively working with things that are unpleasant, like sitting still. When you're sitting still, then you have a wonderful opportunity to learn to relax under pressure and to become patient, not to immediately react, not let the energy shoot up in your body, but to have it settled and to keep it settled so you're at ease no matter what. And that's just the beginning. If you have that base of being able to sit still, now we can talk a little bit about going really deeper into the meditative work, into the practice, and get all the benefits out of it. Because now you are equipped with a virtue that is making you unshakable, which is patience. you have that virtue, you can go very far. You have a long breath. And you're not afraid of difficulties and hardships and misery. You're quite at ease with it. So you're not dropping everything immediately when things get a bit more difficult. Happens also a lot to people who are new at meditation. They don't have that long breath. They feel they want to be focused and they see they can't be focused. You know what they do? They throw it all. They say, forget it. I'm not cut out for meditation practice. I can't do it. I can't meditate. It takes time to develop those skills. And along the path you pick up so many beautiful qualities which will make your life better, happier, so you can be at ease. You have a choice there. And it's all about how you act, right? What you do, what you don't do, how you conduct yourself. So this is some little information, like after having spent some time now, hopefully in a bit of a retreat and a bit of a deeper, more practice, maybe you have experienced some of that. And hopefully this gives you an additional kind of encouragement to go deeper, because you all can do that, and it will be something wonderful. It gives you self-respect, it gives you patience, it makes you calmer in everyday situations, much more settled. So you can have the mindset of a 70-year-old person, which is often a bit more settled than a 15-year-old person, because they have dealt with so much stuff in their life. They're kind of okay. I've seen that before. So let's just wait how that turns out. They're able to kind of see things with a more laid-back perspective. I've often seen that. It's not always the case, of course, but it's kind of a tendency that the older people get, the more they are kind of at ease. The younger they are, they're more like kind of pushy and try to make things happen right now and need to change the world right now. Whereas older people are kind of more settled. That quality of being a bit more settled, imagine you could have that a bit more early on. It would help you to make wiser decisions, better decisions. To stay more cool and healthy. It's an insurance. This is an insurance. It's a health insurance. Like keeping yourself from misery inside of yourself. Feeling sad, anxious, worried, panicky, stressful. All that is going to make you sick physically. It's taxing. You pay for it. Every moment you're angry, you pay for it. You pay for it with health, with lifetime. So it's really important to guard this and take care of it. This is a real insurance. Money is not. This one is actually going to help you to create long-term benefit. Okay. So this is all that comes to mind for now. Time to stop. Very happy to be back with this. Hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did. It was a nice time hanging out with all of you today.